Hey, hello, what's up guys? It's Jamie, aka the FUT Economist, coming at you guys today with a very important video. And that's because we are undergoing the biggest shakeup to the FUT market since the release of the team of the season in the form of the FUTTIES, the Oscars of the FIFA Ultimate Team community, if you will. I've got a ton of information to share with you guys, ranging from general information about the FUTTIES and the release dates and the voting, to non-market info that'll help you take advantage of this time so you can make some coins without even trading, and some information about trading, some general sniping advice, and how to get these players for cheap. And then finally, the reason you probably clicked on this video, I'm going to be making my predictions about which cards I think will actually go ahead and get the upgrades from their nominees cards, and how you want to invest in those cards so that you can make a ton of coins off of this FUTTIES season. But before we get into the video, I do ask that if you find this video helpful in any way, that you leave a like rating. This video took a lot of time to put together, so any support that you could leave would be greatly appreciated. But without further ado, let's get into the information. So let's start with some general information. Like I said earlier, the FUTTIES are sort of like the Oscars of the Ultimate Team community. Basically what EA has done is that they've nominated 44 players in 11 different categories, with 4 players in each respective categories. These categories range from things such as best long shot tackler to best tackler to most loyal player to their club. And essentially what's going to happen over the next week or so, specifically from the 21st to the 27th at 6 p.m, we are going to be voting on which players we think deserves an upgrade the most in each category. So those pink cards that you see on the market right now aren't the actual winning cards, they're just the nominations. In fact, those 44 cards are literally just the same card as their base card, except they have a pink skin on them. There's absolutely no difference to the normal card and the pink card. Now what EA is going to do is that they're going to tally up all of our votes on the 29th of July, and they're going to pick different winners in each of the respective categories. And once they've done that on the 29th, they're going to release upgraded cards. And these upgraded cards are literally going to take the cards that are existing in the game right now and just boost their stats automatically. So they're not going to be new cards that are released, they're literally just going to take those cards that are on the market right now and boost their stats up. Obviously those cards will be in packs for the next 7 days, and there's going to be a bunch of promo packs, but if an idea popped into your mind about investing, then you're definitely right, because the cards that are existing on the market right now, the ones that win, are going to get a huge upgrade. Now how big is that upgrade going to be? Well, based off of what they did last year, it's going to be 2 overall higher than their highest rated current inform that is a non-team of the season or team of the year. So that would mean that the current pink 86 rated Kevin De Bruyne would actually get a 94 rated card, because his highest current inform is his 92 rated international man of the match, which is an absolutely huge increase and would actually be an enormous increase in price, and that's where we can make a ton of coins as investors. But before we talk about that, I do want to give you guys a couple of non-market tips where you can make a bunch of coins without even investing or risking a single coin. The first one of these tips is that you're going to want to log in to the online web app every single day for the next week or so, because EA are giving out free reward packs. It's something you can do really easily, and oftentimes they'll give you a couple hundred coin boost reward, or I've even seen people get free gold packs, so that's definitely something that you want to do. You should also check to see if your club has any of the existing nominees in it, not the pink cards, but the just regular gold cards, because those cards are actually not going to be in packs for the next week or so, and subsequently their price is going to rise a little bit. So what you can do is you can actually take that gold card right now, go ahead and sell it on a little bit later in the week, probably around the 27th or so, and then buy it back at a lower price once they get released back into packs about a week or 2 later. Another thing that you can do, especially for those of you that have been following me and have invested in consumables, you should sell your consumables now, because there are a ton of people playing games right now, and the demand for consumables has absolutely gone through the roof. I've seen non-rare gold contracts selling at 300 buy now, which is like absolutely insane. That's double the price at which they normally go for. So if you bought them at 150, congratulations, you've just doubled your profit. And finally, you should play a lot of online seasons, because EA have doubled the rewards for online seasons that you complete in FIFA Ultimate Team. So for example, the other day I was actually fortunate enough to win the Division 1 title, and instead of getting 15,000 coins, I was able to get 30,000 coins. If you can't actually win the Division 1 title, or you're struggling to win games, get relegated. If starting in Division 1, if you get relegated all the way down to Division 10, you're actually going to pocket yourself about 30,000 coins, which isn't that bad. If you don't care about your record, you can just get into the game, back out, and then once you're done the season, you pocket the rewards. Okay, so now it's time to talk about trading with these footy players. Now, I want to give you guys a couple of warnings before we get into the tips, and the first of which is that the prices of these players is varying dramatically, especially between day and night. So you want to be careful and conscious of the time that you're buying these players at. Usually in the day, they're going to be going for a little bit lower of a price because there's going to be more people packing them, more people listing them on the market, and thus there's a lower price for them. But if you're buying it in the middle of the night, make sure you're getting a really good deal, because there's a good chance, if you can go check on FUTBin, that they're actually going for a little bit lower during the day. You also want to be conscious of the fact that the prices of these players has gradually gone down over the course of the week. I was looking at a Nani the other day, and he was going for, I think, 95k or something of the sort, and I saw someone on Twitter get really excited because they were able to snipe one for 80k, but they weren't able to sell it on until this morning, and he was going at 55k this morning. So they really lost a ton of coins with what looked like a really good snipe originally. So two things that you can draw out of that. One, be conscious of the fact that they're probably going to continue to drop in price all the way to like the 25th or the 26th or the 27th. And also that if you do get one of these on a snipe, that you should make sure that you're able to sell it on right away. You should be very conscious of the fact that you're going to lose coins if you don't sell it on quickly. But those tips are not to scare you away from actually trading with these cards, because the potential for profit is actually really, really good. If you employ sniping techniques or even just bidding on these cards, you will be able to make a ton of profit if you're able to flip them and sell them quickly. That's because people are going to be packing these cards, they're going to see that their base stats are worth, no more than their regular card, and they're just going to list it up on the market, not knowing that they have the potential to be a huge upgrade down the line. So I do encourage you to go out and try and snipe these cards, on bid. You buy them during the day and then sell them on at night. That's probably where you're going to make most of your profit. So now it's time to get to the juicy part of this video, which is the prediction/investing advice. And that's because, as you guys can probably predict, the prices of these nomination cards are going to dramatically increase if they do end up being one of the winners. Now, before we make my predictions, I do want to give you guys some general investing advice. The first is that you should know that the prices of these players is probably going to reach its lowest point around like the 25th to 26th, and probably my bet is the 27th. And the reason for that is because that's when the new team of the week will be announced, and that's when there's going to be a bunch of pack openings trying to pack these new MLS team of the week players, and that's probably when most people are going to be packing these new nomination cards and then listing them up on the market. So that's probably when you're going to want to be buying these cards if you're looking to invest in them, hoping that they win the nomination. You should also know that this is a very risky investing venture, and that's because if the card that you choose to invest in doesn't get the nomination, they are going to be worth no more than their regular card, and they're already selling at inflated prices, so you're set to lose a bunch of coins. With that in mind, you should look to spread out who you're investing in, not just pick one player, but choose multiple players from different categories so that you can sort of hedge your bets and hope that if you fail on one of the cards, that you'll able to make money on another card. With all that being said, let's get into my predictions for who I think are going to win the nominations from the various groups. Now, the way I made these predictions are based off a number of factors. The first of which is the results from last year. If these players were in a similar poll from last year, and depending on how well they did based off of a similar competition, if they did well on their voting or they did poorly on their voting, that will influence how I think they will do this year. It's also including the player performance in game this year. If a player is ridiculously overpowered or done really, really well in the game, or was really popular in squad builders, there's probably a higher chance that people are going to vote for him. I've also included international reputation, the team they're playing for, or any recent transfer or recent form or stuff like that. So there's sort of like the general buzz around that player. All of those are taken into consideration when I'm making my predictions. Without further ado, let's get into who I think will win. So starting out with the keepers, I think it's going to be between Handanovic and Leno, with actually Leno edging out Handanovic with getting himself an 88 rated card. And then moving on to the tacklers, I think it's going to be between Gustavo and Khedira, but last year Gustavo and Khedira were actually in the same group, and Gustavo ended up getting more votes at the end of the voting, even though he did lose to Yaya Toure. But Yaya Toure obviously isn't in this group anymore, and I think that trend will still hold up, giving Gustavo an 85 rated card. Onto the skillers, I think that Nani is definitely the strongest in this category here. He's got a really good card. His move to the Liga BBVA is going to make him even more attractive, especially since the only other real option for left wing is Klona Kaplianka, and a lot of people don't really like using him, and obviously CR CR7 is out of a lot of people's budget, so I think a lot of people will rate for him, getting him an 84 rated card. Onto the long distance shooters, Canalegu, or however you pronounce his name, has been a popular among FUT users for a long time just because of his insane free kick stats, so I think he's going to win that one, getting himself an 82 rated card. Onto the headers, Mandzukic, I think he's going to win that one. He barely lost to Cavani last year, who is no longer in this section, and I think he's going to get himself an 86 rated card. Onto the two-footed maestros, this is one of the tougher ones for me to call. I think I'm going to have to give it to Cruz though, just because Nick28T actually did a vote on his stream for this particular category, and Cruz was able to edge it out amongst the competitors. In addition, the main people on that stream are going to be English-speaking people, and I think he's going to get a lot more support from Germans and people that support and watch the Liga BBVA who might not necessarily speak English. So I think he's going to win it, getting himself a 91 rated card, which would be pretty tasty to play with. Onto the one club, man, honestly, this one was a little bit tough for me to call because all of these people have a lot of international support, a lot of social media support, so I'm really just putting this guess out there because I just want to make a guess for you guys, and it's going to be Buffon, getting himself a 90 rated card. Again, I'm not really sure about that one. You would have to decide for yourself if that's worth the risk to invest. Onto the engine, I think that Williams got a really good chance at winning this section. He's, by far the best card out of that group. I don't think that group is very powerful or competitive in terms of the ratings of the cards or the strength of the cards, the utility of the cards in game, and there's not a really whole lot of right-wing options in the BPL, so I think he would be a strong candidate, getting himself an 85 rated card. Onto the most improved, I think this one's a really tough one, but being that the three players on the right there, Eric Dyer, Ali, and Vardy, they had pretty bad Euros. I think that a lot of English fans are going to be pretty salty and would rather vote for someone like Mahrez, who has a lot of media buzz around him right now and has been really popular just because of how well he played for Leicester City this past season. Moving on to the Maestro, this one was another tough one for me. I think it's going to be between Ozil and De Bruyne, with De Bruyne actually edging it out for a couple of reasons. The first of which is because he feels so much better in game that it just, there's no comparison between Ozil and De Bruyne for me in terms of who is a better cam, but also because De Bruyne has the potential to actually become a 94 rated card because his 92 international man of the match is his highest rated card right now, so that would be an incredible card to get. I think the FIFA players are really going to want to look for getting a card like that. And then finally, onto the class is permanent section. This one I'm going to have to go with Ben Arfa, mainly because he's got 5-star skills and because it would probably create the most impressive card of the bunch. And he also played really well this year, and his move to the PSG also helps out with his popularity, and that would give him an 86 rated card. Okay, so those are my predictions. Those are the players that I think are going to win the nominations. What I would do if I were you now is pick 4 or 5 players that you most agree with me on, and then decide to invest in them on the 26th or the 27th of July, especially catering around to the release of the new Team of the Week on the 27th. Again, you're going to want to spread your coins out. Don't put them all onto one player, because if they don't win, you're looking at a really expensive normal card that you basically are only paying for a different color card on it. If you guys do disagree with some of the predictions that I made in this video, feel free to let me know about it down in the comments below. I think if we come to a consensus together, that we might be able to make some better predictions than I've made by myself. If you guys have any specific questions about trading, when to invest, how to invest, if you're getting a good deal, I'll leave a link to my Twitter down in the description, where that's the best way to reach me for questions like that. Again, if you found this video helpful or anything in this video helpful to you, I would really appreciate a like rating. It did take a bunch of effort to put together, but other than that, it's been Jamie, aka the FUT Economist. Keep your trade policies full, stay rational, and I'll see you on Tuesday for another video.